Hello. My name is Lucas Gonzalez. I am a doctor. I studied medicine and did epidemiology and got into pandemic flu planning. I got into severe pandemic flu planning. That's one of the links in the initial picture that you may have seen. And now I am developing a page, actually a portal in Apropedia, and that portal is a bunch of wiki pages that try to portray a very difficult to summarize situation into something that is actually actionable. So we're looking at this pandemic and we're all wondering what to do in it and what is our role and what should we be doing in relationship to ourselves and to other people. So the simple way to picture this is as a grid with rows and columns, like a chessboard, something like that, or a spreadsheet. And what we have is that we have all the actions that we can do, like wearing masks or closing borders or anything in between. And we have the level at which these things happen, which is the individual, the household, the street, the city, the region, the country, and the international level. You can picture that, can't you? So the idea is that we have been using all these tools, but not fully developed them. And we can develop them. We can look at each of the tools. We can look at masks and see how we can make them better. How can we design them better at the international level? How can we produce them at the national level? How can we use them at the local level? And the same things apply to every single measure. And we can also look at this from another angle and we can say, okay, where am I? Am I responsible for a city because I am the city mayor or I am the civil protection person who is convening a meeting and making things happen at that level? What should I be doing at my level? How can I help the people in the families and the individuals and the organizations that are, so to speak, under me? And how do I speak to the bigger guys? How do I request resources? How do I help them? And how am I going to bring this genius who has invented a new mask at the individual level? How am I going to help him go into the international level to help the world? That's just a very rough picture of what this wiki page is about. The idea is that I'm writing it in Spanish, but because Apropedia has a green button that is called page data, you can click on that and you can translate the whole thing into English. It's pretty neat. I recommend that you do that. And at some point, I don't know exactly when, probably quite soon, we will be able to just translate the whole thing into English directly and have the whole set of pages mirrored into other languages, just because we can do that. So one of the ideas that we're playing with is the possibility of having a list of countries. There are around 200 countries in the world, and maybe each of them will have their own regions or their own corners of the country, so that it will be possible to have teams of people gathering around each place and developing the strategy for moving forward in their place. So the idea is that if you are, say, in Madrid or Barcelona or Slovenia or the south of Sweden, I don't know where you will be, you would, and I realize I'm being Eurocentric here, but more on that in a second. The idea is that we would be able to develop a strategy for moving forward really fast in any of those places. If you have a team of 1, 2, 5, 10 people, 10 people per million would be ideal, I think. And it's actually quite possible. It's a tenth of 1% of 1%, so it's pretty doable. So if we do that, if we manage to convene teams that will work on things at the local level, then we can copy each other. We can copy what works. And we can start thinking of going together, moving forward together. So the reason I was being Eurocentric is that it would be theoretically possible to have several initiatives pop up all over Europe. And then at some point, it will be very clear, why don't we just move together? Why don't we close our borders together? Why don't we open our borders together? Why don't we reunite as a species, free of this virus, as free as we can be, and keeping an eye on the smoldering fires and putting them out quickly, as we know we can do. And also having a way to use all this knowledge, all this learning of acting on our own and together, and allow that to spread to other places that will be able to use the learning in their own corners of the world. I don't know, it's just an experiment. So the chances of this little paper plane flying are pretty slim. But we can give it a try, and if it doesn't work, at the very least we will have learned something. And we're doing this in a moment of huge uncertainty. We don't know what variants are doing. We don't know how vaccines are going to work exactly. We have some ideas, but we're not very sure about anything. So we're doing it because we can. At some point, if things get really rough, we might have to do it because we have no other choice. That's possibility number 2. And then the third possibility is that we fail and we learn from it, and we used it, the learning in other things like, I don't know, climate change maybe, or something like that. So anyway, this is just my presentation to you in English about this new page that I have created. If you want to look at my previous work is also, I will put the link in the description. It was about flu. So, and it was 10 years ago. So some things apply, some things don't. You will be able to skim. I would recommend is that you skim the 6-page summary and the 2 or 2.5 page index in the bigger document. So that's it. The Zero COVID page in Appropedia is still in development, so I expect to see other toys popping up. So one of the ideas that we have is to have kind of a template for people doing spreadsheets of their own place and playing with population and resources needed and actions and all that kind of stuff. And what else? Oh yeah, we're playing around with very neat ideas about apps that might be helpful in helping each other in this kind of situation. And if we that can be developed at the global level and then spread to many places. So I don't know. We will have to see. The chances of this working are small, but I think it's worth trying. So thank you for coming along. Thank you for watching this far, and please do get in touch in the comments or whatever. You know how this works. Okay. How do you stop this? Oh, I need to put my glasses on. Hang on. Yeah, stop recording. See you later.